750,000 Palestinians were driven out of their homes in 1948. That much most people know. What gets left out of that story is everything those people were forced to leave behind and what happened to it. It's May 1948. David Ben-Gurion is sitting in a cabinet meeting, and he is not happy. Ben-Gurion declares, "The only thing that surprised me," he said, "and surprised me bitterly, was the discovery of such moral failings among us, which I had never suspected. I mean the mass robbery in which all parts of the population participated." Now, before you get the wrong idea about Ben-Gurion, he wasn't losing any sleep over the 750,000 people he just ethnically cleansed, nor was he planning on safeguarding their assets. What made Ben-Gurion furious was that his own soldiers and citizens were looting everything before his government could get their hands on it. The Israeli government had planned an organized, top-down theft operation. For this purpose, the government had established a Ministerial Committee for abandoned property. It was simple. You drive Palestinians out at gunpoint, you prevent them from returning, then you declare the property abandoned. Even if the owners were just a few kilometers away, even if they were still inside the borders of Israel. But the scheme was being undercut by none other than the most moral army in the world. From Lydda alone, a small city of 17,000, the army removed 1,800 truckloads of property. Minister Behor Shitrit sat on the Committee for Abandoned Property. He went out there himself. He saw the widespread looting with his own eyes, and he reported back to his colleagues. Minister of Finance Eliezer Kaplan admitted before the same committee that neither his ministry nor the custodian of abandoned property was in control. The army, he said, did what it wanted. The custodian's report noted that a widespread operation of dismantling water pump engines had been carried out throughout the country. The government was in a race to steal the engines before individual citizens and soldiers could. There were roughly 200,000 to 260,000 Arab dwellings, homes, and apartments. Each one held family heirlooms, jewelry, furniture, cash, appliances, the sum total of generations of family life, sacrifice, and effort. It was all stripped bare in a frenzy of looting. Palmach soldier Yoram Kaniuk described entering a home within hours of the owners leaving. The homes were wealthy people's homes. We had never seen such splendor. Gold, giant mirrors, gleaming kitchens, crystal chandeliers, and tons of food. Silver cutlery, bottles of liquor stood like soldiers in formation. An Armenian resident of Al-Bakar, John Rose, watched from his veranda and described what he saw over the following months. Horse-drawn carts as well as pickup trucks, laden with pianos, refrigerators, radios, paintings, ornaments, and furniture, some wrapped in valuable Persian carpets. Safes with money and jewelry were pried open and emptied. Moshe Smolansky, a Jewish observer, described what he witnessed. The urge to grab has seized everyone. Individuals, groups, and communities, men, women, and children, all fell on the spoils. Doors, windows, lintels, bricks, roof tiles, floor tiles, junk, and machine parts. Then there was the cultivated land. The Zionists didn't take over a desert. In 1945, the British Survey of Palestine found that Palestinian Arabs, comprising less than 69% of the population, produced over 78% of total agricultural output. In 1945, Palestine had a population of 1.9 million and was 90% self-sufficient in staple food production, with exportable surpluses despite the disruption of World War II. 1,492,000 acres of cultivated Arab lands with 234,674 tons of planted winter crops ready for harvest, 8 million olive trees that were 99% Arab-owned, and represented centuries of development. Arab-owned livestock included 214,000 cattle, 224,000 sheep, 314,000 goats, and 105,000 donkeys. Citrus was the most important export crop in the agricultural economy. 50.8% of the citrus orchards were Arab-owned and had their irrigation systems looted. The effect on citrus exports? Palestine at its peak exported more than 15 million cases annually. In 1949, Israel exported less than 1 million cases. And in 1952, exports were only 3.5 million, a fraction of what the Palestinians produced. Now that the geniuses who made the desert bloom were in control, did agricultural production boom? No, in fact, it collapsed. Israel had to institute food rationing for 10 years and would have starved if the Americans had not supplied the equivalent of hundreds of millions in today's dollars in aid to pay for food imports. Palestine was 90% food self-sufficient, while Israel was only 25%. You can steal the land and expel its people, but you can't replace what made it work. Thousands of years of connection to the soil and the experience of countless generations of fellahin. Ben-Gurion finally stole the country he'd been dreaming of, only to have to watch helplessly as his goon squad stripped it bare in an orgy of looting. Ben-Gurion then did what every Israeli prime minister does. He handed the Americans the bill to fix it. What was the value of everything the Zionists had stolen? Atif Kubursi, cited in UNCTAD's official report to the UN General Assembly, calculated a total value of $780 billion in 2026 dollars. Kubursi did not include the value of the oil and gas reserves that have been found off the coast of Gaza. The descendants of the expelled are the legal heirs of a property record that was never extinguished, only suppressed. Their keys are still in the family. Their land records still exist. And inevitably, there will be a settlement of accounts. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, please like and subscribe.